Welcome to the Knowledge Find IT viewers. Today we are going to learn a new topic that is the continuous of the previous video, that is DevOps interview question preparations. I'm going to continue the 10 questions. You can refer the previous video and you can find another 10 questions. This is the continuity of the previous video. Let me move to the video first. The question is name three important DevOps KPIs. The three important KPIs are listed below. The one is mean time to failure recovery. When the system moves to the failure, we need to measure the average time taken to recover from a failure. And another thing, we need to measure the development of the frequency. The frequency is we need to calculate the deployment when is occurred, and we need to calculate the percentage of failed deployments, the number of times of deployment fails. So those are the KPI indicators. The KPI means key performance indicator. So we need to measure those upon those measurements. Those are mean time of failure, deployment frequency, and percentage of failed deployments. The another question is explain the term infrastructure as code. It is called as IAC as it relates to the configuration management. So the interviewer may ask this question. You need to tell to the interviewer that is writing code to manage configuration only. We need to configure the code and we need to deploy the code after the configuration, and then we need to automate professionally because some of the case we need to execute again and again. And also we need to manage the data source, which is called as data centers, and there we can read the files and we need to implement the hardware configurations. So all the servers with other infrastructure components are provisioned consistently along with the devices. And also another thing is administrating is the best thing after the configurations and the management of the infrastructure. So those are the things under the IAC. And another question is how is IAC implemented using AWS? This is the common question. You can tell like that. You can tell it is the age-old mechanism of writing commands on the scripting files. You can use any format of the files. The scripting files, maybe you can select the JSON or a YAML. So after the written code, you need to provide the service and you need to test those and maintain the infrastructure in a descriptive manner. So that is the thing when we implemented in AWS. And another question is why has DevOps gained prominence over the last few years? So that's a common question. You can explain this via saying some examples, like you can say like that. Now the current industries using several players such as several applications. You can say a few examples, Netflix and Facebook. So some of the application need to automate their deployment, then only they will grow their business. So let me take the Facebook. Facebook's use the deployment and core ownership models and how these have helped to scale up to ensure the quality of experience at the same time, because in the Facebook there are a lot of users are using through the online platform. 100 million of users are using the Facebook applications, so they need the quality of experience. And another thing is you need to maintain the hundreds of lines of code or implement without affecting the quality stability and security. So this is the thing we are getting from the Facebook also. And you can explain another example, that is Netflix. It is a streaming and on-demand video company. It follows similar practice like the Facebook. It practicing the automated process, and both two organizations such as Facebook and Netflix has several millions and billion users worldwide. And like this manner, you can develop your arguments in this manner. And also you need to tell, according to the each releases, you need to reduce the lead of time between bug fixes, streamline and continuous delivery through the automations. And also you can reduce the manpower cost also. So that is the things that currently the DevOps is trending now. And you can explain some tools that you have known like Git, Selenium and Jenkins. Another question is, what are the fundamental difference between DevOps and Agile? We can classify those aspects under each characteristics. When we take the Agile methodology, we can explain the characteristic uh, wise work scope. It is the agility DevOps. Let me take the DevOps. It is the automation needed agility. Let me take the Agile. It focuses on deadlines and the times. Let me take the DevOps. It is focus on quality and time management. And in the Agile, the feedback. The customer is the only person who brings the feedback. And the DevOps, the tools and the monitoring tools are decided the feedback. And the practice and process followed in the Agile is we are using the Kanban, Scrum, etc. followed. But in the DevOps, we are using the continuous developer, which is called CD, and continuous integration, which is called CI. And according to the Agile, there are several releases for each cycle, but in Java's release cycles are small along with immediate feedback. So that is the thing. And another question is, what are the anti-patterns of DevOps? The anti-patterns of DevOps, which means the organization usually follow these patterns, which includes some methodology of people and production management, and also it is the process. It includes the Agile, and some separate groups needs to be made for DevOps. Those are included under the special pattern. The sounded question is, what are the benefits of using version control? If you are using the version control, you can integrate all of the modification into the single version. Because when you change an existing version, you need to migrate the changes and modify the file, and you need to make the project with the recent changes. And inside the VCS, all the previous versions are properly stored, and we will able to request any version at any moment. And those are the things, and you can use to modify during the modification. You can use the JIT, and all of the team members retrieve the complete history of the project, and it allows the developers also or other stakeholders can use the local JIT repositories of any of the teammates can collaborate through the JIT, because it is a remote repository. If the main server goes down, at that point they can get the codings from the created remote JIT repository. So that is the thing. And another question is, describe the branching strategies you have used. To test the application, you need to fulfill some knowledge and purpose of branching and the experience of branching in the past year. So they will ask this question confirmly. So you can tell like some of the branches are I have used that those are release branching, feature branching and task branching. Another release branching, which means when the specific functionality has been built up, you need to release the specific functionality during the each sprint cycle. So you need to release that one, and you need to make the bug fixing. According to the bug fixing, also you need to merge the those modification under the master. So it should be merged, and it's back to the development branch. So it is the initial release, you can tell like that. And another branching is feature branching. Another feature branching, you need to maintain all modifications. Sometimes the happen modifications make the whole system failure, so you need to take the backup for each modifications after the each bug fixes. So for a specific feature contained within a branch, the branch gets merged into a master once the feature has been completely tested and approved by using tests that are automated. So that is the feature branching. And another task branching, every task has been completed by each developers. So the respective branch and the task is mentioned in the branch name according to the task or the developer name. That is assigned as per the organization conveniency. We need to simply look at the task key into the branch name to discover which code implements which task. We can't pick up the starting point and the end point, and we can assign the parent node, and we can make the child branches also under the task branch. So you can explain like that manner. And another question is, can you explain the shift left to reduce failure concept in DevOps? You can say like that. It is helps to improve the security and performance. And other factors, let me consider. You need to consider on the process in DevOps. The security is tested and period of development step. We can add security in development phase and employing the method, and during the testing it is not in the specific development. So in like that manner you can tell. Another question is, what is the blue-green development pattern? This is the method of continuous development that is commonly used to reduce downtime. This is where the traffic is transformed from one instance to another. In order to include fresh version of the code, we must replace the old code, which means the existing code, with a new code. So you need to exchange the code. So the new version exists in the green environment and the old version exists in the blue environment, because we need to take the blueprint of the existing code and the new code. Then only when we will get the wrong update from the or a wrong deployment from the system, we need to back up the existing code. That's why we are going to put the old version of the code in the blue environment, and we are going to put the new version of code into the green environment. After making changes to the previous version, we need a new instance from the old one to execute a new version of the instance. So that is the blue-green deployment part. Now, those are the questions. So today we looked upon 10 questions, and as of now we have completed 20 questions. Let me continue our interview preparations in other video also. Until watch the previous video and watch this video. Let me meet you in another video. Thank you. Bye.